During a time of great famine, Jacob and his family journeyed to Egypt, where Joseph, once sold as a slave, had become a powerful ruler. With joy and relief, the Israelites settled in the fertile land of Goshen. They built homes, raised their children, tended their flocks, and began to flourish. What started as a season of survival became a season of growth, as God quietly began preparing a great nation.
During a great famine, Jacob and his family moved to Egypt because Joseph was a powerful ruler there. The Israelites settled in the land of Goshen.
Many years passed, and a new pharaoh rose in Egypt who did not remember Joseph. Fear filled his heart as he saw how numerous and strong the Israelites had become. So he made them slaves. From sunrise to sunset, they labored under the scorching sun, making bricks, building cities, and carrying heavy loads. Their cries echoed across the land. Yet even in suffering, they continued to multiply, for God had not forgotten his people. In those dark days, a Hebrew baby boy was born to save his life from Pharaoh's cruel command. His mother placed him gently in a basket and set him among the reeds of the Nile River. By divine timing, Pharaoh's daughter discovered the child and was moved with compassion. She took him into the palace and named him Moses. The child meant for death was being prepared for destiny, for God was already working behind the scenes.
Little one, you are safe now. I will call you Moses.
Years later, Moses was living quietly in the wilderness, far from the palace of Egypt. One day, he saw a strange sight, a bush on fire, yet it was not burning up. As he drew closer, God called his name from the flames. On holy ground, Moses received a divine assignment to return to Egypt and lead God's people out of slavery. What felt like an ordinary day became the beginning of a great deliverance.
Moses, go back to Egypt and lead my people out of slavery. Here I am, Lord. I will go.
With courage in his heart and God's promise in his mouth, Moses returned to Egypt. Standing before the mighty Pharaoh, he delivered a bold message. Let my people go. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Instead of freedom, he increased the Israelites' suffering. Yet this confrontation was only the beginning, for God was about to display his power in a way Egypt would never forget.
No! You will work harder. You will regret this.
Then the hand of God moved across Egypt. The river turned to blood. Frogs covered the land. Locusts destroyed the crops. And thick darkness filled every corner. One plague after another shook the nation. Yet Pharaoh still refused to let the Israelites go. What seemed like delay was divine demonstration. God was proving that no earthly power could stand against his will. On a solemn night, God gave the Israelites a strange but powerful instruction. They were to prepare a lamb, eat in readiness, and mark their doorposts with its blood. That night, judgment passed through Egypt, but every home covered by the blood was spared. Before morning came, Pharaoh finally released them. What began as suffering was turning into freedom.
God told the Israelites to put lamb's blood on their doorposts.
Why, Father?
So the angel of death will pass over our home.
The night had finally come, the night God had spoken about. Across Egypt, a deep silence was suddenly broken by cries of sorrow. From the poorest home to the royal palace, every firstborn had died, including Pharaoh's own son. But in the homes of the Israelites, there was peace. The blood on their doorposts had protected them, just as God had promised. Grief-stricken and defeated, Pharaoh summoned Moses in the darkness and said, "Rise up, leave my people, go and serve your God." That painful night became the turning point, the moment slavery began to end and freedom drew near. Freedom was within reach, but fear stood before them in the form of the Red Sea. Behind them, Pharaoh's army thundered closer. Panic spread among the Israelites. Then Moses lifted his staff, and by God's power, the sea divided. A dry path appeared between towering walls of water. They crossed safely, and when the Egyptians followed, the waters returned. That day, slavery ended, and a nation stepped into destiny.
Fear not! The Lord fights for us!
With the sound of Pharaoh's army thundering behind them, and the vast Red Sea standing before them, fear gripped the hearts of the Israelites. Then Moses lifted his staff, and by the power of God, the sea divided. Towering walls of water rose on both sides as a dry path appeared. Step by step, families walked through the sea in awe and urgency. And when the Egyptians followed, the waters returned, ending their pursuit forever. That night, God made a way where there seemed to be no way. The sea that once stood divided now roared back with unstoppable force. Chariots shattered, horses struggled, soldiers cried out as towering waves crashed over them. What they meant for pursuit became their defeat, for the God who made a way for his people also closed the way behind them. And in that moment, Egypt's power was swallowed, and Israel's freedom was sealed forever.